Well, Cubby, going into this, you were pretty blunt about the fact it was going to be a TLC 2-0. The beginning of the game I thought was really, really fun, but then TLC seemed to just wake up and just prove you right, at least for the first game.
The small mistakes that TLC can turn into big leads, I think, is what really separates them from the rest of the pack right now. And it was really, really good to see Mir and APA recover that game and then push the lead to the max.
And Mazel, looking back at the game as we're looking ahead on where things can change.
It's a lot of big numbers.
There is some big numbers. Help me out here.
Okay, I see big numbers for the ADCs, and that's good, right? But it was Arrow, 100%. I love the damage from Sketch. It's great. Sketch actually had an incredible game on the Ezreal. It just wasn't enough because you're going up against the Aphelios that had 4 kills and a full build going into the end of the game. So I think that it was an interesting game for Supernova. They had some good looks in the beginning. The fact they came out with this combo of draft, it was huge. The bar of execution, I don't know if they were tall enough for the ride.
And I feel like I heard you, Mazel, every 2 minutes, like, oh, look at Arrow. Oh, yep, Arrow is in fact doing the thing again. Arrow was kind of
great. My office assistant has shown up. He's brought me, since I'm an office manager here, he's brought me my files. It says Arrow is good. That's what it says right here. Arrow's really good. He also brought me a Yu-Gi-Oh card for some reason. I don't know.
Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to throw that out right now? Throw that out. Don't alert the authorities here. But
Arrow's pretty good though. I'd say the information backs it up.
It does. So I'm excited to see you in the next game.
I don't know.
He's gone. But I'm excited to see you in the next game because Supernova did have a fun, interesting start to that, but Arrow's just too good. So the next game will be a lot of fun. But let's have a little bit of fun now with our Rally Cry halftime show. And for today, well, we're going to start drawing a couple of things. I thought I would maybe make you two draw things out, and then I realized that it'd be a little bit mean. I know, Mazel, you've both been standing, you've been doing the stuff, so I'm going to draw a couple of scenarios. Yep, and I'll have you two try and guess what I'm drawing, okay?
All right,
this is great. You're actually good with paint. I'm not. So let's see what happens here.
That's the fun part, though, when somebody is like so.
Hey, that's me when I do drawing. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. The fact that my screenshots of my terrible drawing make it up on our Path to LCS Twitter is shocking to me.
All right, so my terrible thing is I completely forget how to draw any champ the second I get into
Nice.
So we're gonna use.
It's a good start.
Stick figures for this.
That's the best kind of paint. They got eyebrows.
He's got the eyebrows. It's like angry.
It's angry. Like... Oh, okay. Got a giant stick.
Cassante solo kill top lane.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yo, that was pretty. That was pretty impressive.
It looked like, one of the Cassante arms or whatever he carries.
I'm glad
is that what it is?
That is what it is.
I'm glad you got that from this drawing because I drew that and I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of embarrassed.
I thought it was a loaf of bread. I was thinking like a baguette. I was like, where does this baguette
Dude, can we get snacks at this halftime show? I feel like
you have goldfish. You're putting us in a very awkward position, Cubby, because you are the one with snacks and we do not have snacks. Okay,
those are off camera. Come on, all right. That's for the break.
Nobody
stream.
had to know. Well,
yeah, come on.
No, I just threw you under the bus.
You've been added.
Cubby likes goldfish. Everyone.
Well, congratulations, Cubby. You have a snack and you have the first point on the board here, all right? Our next one, we're gonna do...
Oh, wait, you can't do that. Oh, that's a big old smile. I like it. Oh, it's podiums. It's podium finish. Is it Arrow finishing #1 on damage?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, talking about what you're going for and, MVP at some point. But also, yes, considering first damage, she's kind of bombing off.
Deserved, all right? Deserved.
Yeah, I feel like if we had an MVP vote for that game, it would be, all Arrow, and then there would be one media KEKW vote for Mir,
Just throw it in there.
The LCK Classic, right? Mm-hmm. The media KEKW.
All right, and now this next one.
Hey, we're tied 1-1, Cubby. I'm coming for you. All right.
Yeah, that was quick, man. Jesus.
This one's like the late game. Wow, this is
Okay. Looks like a tower kind of fish. Trying to think of ultis. I just love the.
This is bad. The concept I thought was like fine, but like
it's TL throwing Supernova in the dumpster. Is that right?
No.
Is this the
I thought
Baron?
it was a dumpster.
This
Or
the
like a
Baron fight
barrel.
where TL like got music, they killed music and then just like did Baron?
So this is the worst drawing ever. This is a tower, honestly.
I was kind of right in that.
We throwing at the tower. Oh, is this Bradley taking all the tower shots?
This was just 25 minutes of the game. This is just TL like, yeah, we're just gonna dive with towers. We're just going for it. We're
dive. Okay.
That's what
The way the arms
what
are,
this
it makes me
guy's
think
doing.
He's throwing him. He's just yeeted him over the tower.
No, he's running to the tower, guys. He's not yeeting. He's running. Those are his running.
You gotta
arms.
give like these arms if they're running. You gotta give like the sideways, like one
They're kinda
back, one
sideways
forward,
now,
like he's
except
sprinting.
He kind of just looks like he's throwing hands now. Honestly, it didn't really. It didn't really.
It even
work
more
out.
looks like he's throwing him because now he's like lifting.
It's a lifting.
This could be like a solo queue ad. Like, did your jungler run it down your lane? Yeet him into the enemy turret.
I'm just imagining now our players' faces diving from the sky into a turret when they go for a dive. That's all I'm gonna look at now.
Can you singed flip teammates? That's what this is. Yeah.
I just needed to give you a look, Mazal.
And here's the storm, by the way. You could say.
All right.
Ooh, that's true.
Deep cut. So who got points for that one? Are we still tied?
Neither. No,
Neither.
definitely
I said tower in the beginning. I feel like
You said dumpster.
I also say at the beginning I said it was a tower, and then I thought it was a dumpster. But
All right.
I'll take my pity self no points. I do what? Want to try to get an early guess.
I do not think you'll get an early guess on
I
this
don't think
one.
I will
I would
either.
be honestly like
That's gotta be
$10
Scion.
PayPal'd right now if you got this within the next 3 seconds.
Oh, my guy's got little legs. Oh, he's angry. That's. I thought it was Scion. Is it your two cats in a bus?
Remember what we were talking about before the broadcast and considering one of the champs that we got to see coming out here?
The friendship bus with Yumi. It's
Okay, I don't think that's how
Aphelios is the driver. Or I guess Arrow. But you're not supposed to get distracted by your pets while you're driving. So, it seems counterintuitive.
It's the
That is the cutest Yumi, though, I've ever seen, by the way.
Thank you. This is the passenger princess Yumi going on in the games.
Oh,
Though I think
yeah.
last one there was, I don't know, maybe driving off a cliff. It was a little disastrous for the Yumi and the squad of Supernova last game around. But hey,
I gotta say, I haven't used Passenger Princess enough for Yumi. I feel like that's just an undefeated line.
It is truly. And that is an undefeated drawing, Sierra. Pretty good stuff.
I was kind
that is a
of
good
proud
one.
of this one. I don't know why it looks like the car is smiling, but
You should submit it to
smiling.
Cars. If they're gonna make Cars 4, I feel like this could be good concept art.
Can you add Yumi to Cars, please? Can you get her out of League of Legends and just put her in
just
Cars?
put her in
That's
cars
fine.
instead. So, all right. Now this last one. This one is directly seeing how much you pay attention to our interviews. Okay.
Oh, great.
All right. Well, we already know. All right. Great stuff from Mazal off the gate.
We have so much stuff to watch. And I watched the interviews, but my memory is not great. I'm not an elephant, even though I'm, pretty big. Is it noodles?
Is this the Robbie Bob mid-lane collegiate soup?
No.
All right, sorry, I was just throwing
This is
out
pasta of some sort.
what I was guessing. Team dinner, ramen dinners. So, Arrow likes spicy ramen.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yep, there it is.
Yes.
The MVP was doing it for me as soon as I started seeing the medal.
I will say Mir is our most valuable prospect from last split, but Arrow for sure MVP of that game.
Yes.
Spicy
we'll do
ramen.
MVP. this game, all right?
I love the both drawings so far when something's grabbing something. They have like these little balls on the end of their hands. It's the cutest thing ever. It's like, oh, you're trying to grab
it's the fist when you're grabbing something, you know?
It's so great.
I will say, Coach Spawn was very complimentary of Arrow's spicy ramen in the chat yesterday during the interview. So maybe it's only Sunday. They got games tomorrow, but might be a spicy ramen week over in the TL camp.
Keeps playing like that, I think you give this man any spicy ramen he wants. All right, like
he did also say that the spicy food, that's good when stressed out. And judging by the end of that first game, I don't know if TLC is stressed whatsoever. Maybe we'll see in the second one if Supernova can stress them out a little bit, and if it will be a spicy ramen night. Our draft is ready. Our second game is ready. Let's get to it.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Sierra. We're going to be getting into TLC back on the blue side for game 2, and Supernova here, game number 2 on the red side. We'll see what these kind of bans come through. I really want to see Supernova go with something maybe a little bit more stable, maybe a little bit more easier to execute, but we already get TL back to the comfort bans towards Supernova. It is the Olaf towards Quacker.
Curious if we have Supernova. I think Supernova will keep the Enchantresses on the board. I'm wondering what the adaptation will be from them. And also, if TL decides to throw a Cassante ban out there, as I feel like Quacker really did earn that one.
He absolutely did. I still think that in a lot of those moments, if you had a little bit more of a stable team fight, Quacker absolutely runs rampant in the back line. But when you have Arrow that strong, he can, for like the first time I feel like I've ever seen 1v1 a top laner as an ADC, feels all right, as they're going to be banning down that Gragas from game number 1, so don't want to give that one back over to Music. We also get the Vi and the Maokai ban, so a lot of jungle focus here in the first phase.
Yeah, Gragas ban is a new one over on the side of TLC, and honestly curious, again, if it leads to more Cassante priority from them. I still think if all the Enchantresses are left on the board, it will be an Aphelios first for Arrow, and honestly... Yeah. Why would you do anything different after that game?
Exactly, and especially with Scions up, you can just leave that for Bradley at the end. Like, the combo looked good for TLC.
Okay. So that actually will prompt a Zeri pick, most likely, because Yuumi and Lulu are both up. Now, Yuumi is obviously preferred. They could just take Yuumi now if they so choose, but Zeri going to be very high priority now for each of our teams.
That's a lot of decision making to make for TLC. What do you go with first? There's so much meta on the table, and maybe the Yuumi, but the Aphelios. I mean, the Aphelios has been looking so good. You were saying earlier, no, why not just go right back to it? Okay. And there you go. First pick for TLC is that Aphelios for Arrow.
So part of why I thought they would Yuumi is that if Zeri Lulu was taken, they could just Aphelios into it. Now I think if it is Zeri plus Yuumi, it'll actually be Aphelios, and then the Nautilus Flex is going to come out here from TLC, which has been very unique to them so far in this split. So I expect to see Yuumi taken, and then honestly, we could see Cassante or Wukong grabs and save that Zeri for 3 if Supernova really wants.
Absolutely. I think you go ahead and grab something strong here for your matchup in its own right, because if you don't, then you have a little bit of trouble going in after this 2-pick combo from TLC, but it's actually Cassante. So far, Supernova have 2 extremely heavy priority meta picks.
Nautilus Wukong coming out for TLC. Actually, if it is Nautilus, they could Kindred, which could be unique to TLC. So I am expecting a Nautilus, though, from TL. The only other thing I could really see is maybe we start the Lulu TF comp coming out. As that could be a big thing.
There it is.
As Lulu will be taken. I still think that you can Nautilus if you want to find things later. If not, this is a little bit more likely that we do see the Wukong.
I want to see the Wukong premiere. Yeah. I think he's really good on it, but also it just provides a lot of stability for the team early on. And I still think that's something that you're always searching for TL. They do go ahead and grab it.
So here comes Zeri. Now, for TLC, I'm fully expecting a Kindred ban towards Music, and then one other ban of their choice. Whereas for Supernova, I would honestly really like to see them get rid of Scion. I know that it was a winning matchup for Quacker in the top side. They did ban out the Kennen and the Gwen, which are 2 champions that we have seen Bradley have a lot of proficiency on. But that Scion really ended up being a problem in the last game once the grouping started from TLC, and also take away the Ahri to prevent this Wukong Ahri combo from going through. I think that giving up Kennen, Gwen, just having Quacker try and deal with that in the top side will be a little bit of a better setup overall for Supernova. They can slow down the mid-jungle duo that has been so good for TLC in this early split.
That's got to be the focus here. But Supernova go right to that Scion, say, you know, we want something that Bradley can't play like he did in game number 1 on. We get that jungle focus towards music in phase 2 for TLC, though. They ban away the Viego, actually.
I'm expecting a Kindred ban still. Now, do we see Ahri taken away? Or do we maybe see a Gwen? I think taking Gwen away still has a little bit more value than Kennen. Kennen a little bit better landing phase, but really tough for Zeri to deal with Gwen in the later stages.
You need top lane to go your way.
Okay.
For Supernova, I feel like if you're going to find success around the rest of the map, right? And giving that safety up there is super important. They go ahead and ban the Ornn, so they want to put Bradley on something aggressive or something in a split pushing fashion.
Maybe a Cinder ban for TLC, but with the Lulu showing and the Wukong, okay, will be a Victor ban. So
Classic
it still
Robbie
is, yeah, it still is a little bit of a focus on Robbie Bob. That tells me that TLC could be looking for that TF for APA in game 2 that has been so good, and he's really proven can be played and paired up with his Lulu quite well.
I do wonder what they want to grab here, especially with a counter pick available potentially for Robbie Bob.
Ooh.
Getting something against APA is so important. And I will just highlight they've been both hovering each other's comfort champions, APA's A-Soul and Robbie Bob's Zed. But we actually get the music Kha'Zix coming
It's
through.
TF.
And it fits his style so well.
TF. If you go TF, you can reveal Kha'Zix even in the ultimate. You can snowball both sides. I want to see TF Jax here from TL.
Yeah, TF Jax, interestingly enough, for Bradley. Okay, I would love to see that kind of come through. This is a pick that has been banned away from APA a multitude of times, and it actually looks like it's going to go through. It's a long 0, Cubby, as the Cassiopeia does end up coming through for APA.
It does make the Victor ban add up a bit more. I'm still expecting that we see Robbie Bob go for Syndra. Now, that given that we have a Kha'Zix, Annie is still a possibility for Robbie Bob here, but I think that Syndra, just having the ability to kind of zone out Aphelios, Wukong, and Cassio is a little bit too valuable because Cassio is vulnerable to range.
Hey, we get the Renekton locked in for Bradley. Big old Croc coming to the top lane into that Cassante matchup. And this is actually something we've seen rise in priority recently in the meta.
A little bit more self-sufficient. I think that Bradley likes the Jax matchup when you can have TF go to that lane quite a bit to try and set the Cassante behind and get the Jax rolling. But Renekton more self-sufficient and a champion that I know Fakeout's had a ton of success on so far this split. So we'll see if Bradley can replicate that same success for himself.
Looking for the one-on-ones, even the 2v1s, if you've been watching LPL at all, which probably not. We do get that Syndra locked in for Robbie Bob. Like
who specifically? What was the 2v1s? Who was it?
It was Invincible for NIP, who took a 2v1 against a Poppy and a Cassante, I believe, in the top lane. He had like 200 health left when he started the fight, and he ended up with a 2v1. So insane stuff.
That. I did see that last night.
It was actually insane.
It was a good best of 3.
It was. We have actually an interesting setup for Supernova, though. I feel like they've taken a lot of strengths we've seen from them in the past. Obviously, the Kha'Zix for music is huge. Give him that priority. But I also like the stability they have to get themselves into a late-game system because they are a late-game comp right now, besides music. Music will be looking to be that bridge. But on the other side, you're facing a pretty stalwart composition that also needs to find some of those advantages in the earlier game.
I think that for Supernova, they have to kind of weather the storm early. And once they get level 11, they get the Evolved Spike Racks and the Syndra QE. That's where they can start to buy a lot of space and try and come online.
We're getting on the riff for game number 2. And it's going to be Supernova versus TLC. Can TL continue their massive win streak here? We'll see what happens. The Supernova going for a level 1. Love seeing Arrow perform on Team Liquid Challengers. Got to get that hashtag NACL in your tweets if you want to get on screen. But Mir, going to go for a bit of vision early and might bite the dust for it.
Oh my god. The Spidey sense is tingling. Supernova.
I haven't seen anybody.
All right, at least music spots him. He's trying to be the bait here.
I love this so much. Oh, goodness gracious. Beer's going to go for that late vision here with AP around the corner. Oh, the backstop. Oh, no, Mir. He realizes he messed up. He might be wondering how I got here. And it's first blood for Sketch.
That's not bad. It will be a bonus kill once Sketch is able to get back to base. As that'll be some gold. Not going to be able to do so given how late that did take place here, but that will actually delay Mir's start. So not bad as Arrow came down. Gonna look to get a little bit creative here.
Hey, that's me down there in the bottom corner. If you like that emote, the Mazel Pog emote, subscribe now, because it would be Pog. And you would also donate 50% of your subs to the teams and players. So, you know, that's pretty cool too. Also, you get emotes.
And that's the true value add.
That's the true value. That's the true value. But as we're looking back at this game, we put so much focus on the support influences into both these teams. We saw an impressive one from Kim Down in game number 1. I think we're still waiting for Trevor to really find his shtick. The Yuumi doesn't give that many outplay potentials, as we know from trying to find clips for these guys, but you do still have a composition that's based around that style now.
And you are the passenger princess as the Yuumi, as it does look like Music's going for an invade here. Mir gonna have to go vertical to match, which he should be able to do given the bot lane priority, but Syndra does have push against Cassio quite early, as against Syndra, he's able to keep Cassio at range where she is very vulnerable. So want to see if Mir ends up recognizing this and actually crossing over, as I couldn't tell if Music was spotted or not.
It doesn't look like he was.
And yeah,
Mir coming across.
He's going to get the bad news after Wolves.
And that's even worse.
Okay, it's spotted now.
Yeah, he actually will end up just getting these Wolves here.
Oh, that Orb was dead.
Yeah, no, he did not spot him. So he will find out after delaying this. Walks all the way, and Music is like, ha 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 ha, I got what I came for.
Oh, Music, that's a highway robbery early against Mir.
The pings. You know, he's just like...
All Mir can do now is go top and try and get Krugs or dive Quacker. So Quacker's going to have the base and TP back. And you see Quacker, he's wiser to it. So Quacker, he does lose quite a bit off this. This is actually really good for Bradley on this Renekton. So it's not totally lost here for the side of TLC, as Mir's going to get this camp and be able to take the crab. But still, Music, if you can get that Kha'Zix ramped up, he is able to 1v1 Wukong if he is able to get an item advantage. So this start for Music, very good, and a good one for Supernova, who, again, are trying to get some doubles under their belt before they fight TLC.
I'm actually so interested in TLC's approach here in the second game, because you do have Bradley on a Renekton, right? And this is not necessarily a pick that we've associated with Bradley. He has played in the past, and we've seen that increase in tank play trying to facilitate for the team, but he is not one to shy away from a carry matchup, and I think the Renekton here is in such an interesting position.
TP on back, has that double longsword, and I mean, it is someone where I know for Bradley, he wants to be the top laner, right? I mean, he won both splits of Academy last year. Bradley, I don't think he had the best spring that he was hoping for, but it's summer, man. And Bradley, you see what Fake God's been able to do both splits, especially on this Renekton, where Fake God is 12-0 on the pick. I want to see if Bradley can show some of his laning dominance and some of the things that he's learned in his stint as a top laner this game as well.
Getting some nice trades on the Quacker there, but as we go back to it, we do have that dragon spawning out. TL took priority on that early in game number 1, and with a lot of presence down bot side for Mir, with the pathing that he's gone for, you do wonder if they want to try to set the tempo on the neutral objectives as well this time.
Yeah, I like the fact you called that out, Mazel. I think early dragons are a big priority for TL, trying to utilize this Ophelio's strength in lane, where it is a pretty good matchup into this area, and one that we expect all of our players to be comfortable with, but especially Arrow, who does have that proficiency, as curiously enough, though, APA could check this. Okay, he's going to see it started, but yeah, it's a full reset, and Mir's sprinting to the top side, so Music, he's going to sack a lot of his own tempo to try and get this play off, but he's going to secure first dragon on time for Supernova. That's nice. It's going to give them 5 more minutes to scale later in the game.
That, and it also gives you some decision-making power when it comes to the Rift Herald that's going to be coming up. I think this is really nice to be ahead of the play for Supernova, which is something we could not say in game number 1.
Well done here for the side of Supernova, as I think the big key, it's not like they didn't have any leads in game 1, Mazel, it's just they couldn't really turn them into enough. And TLC did punish a few of the small mistakes that or Supernova did end up making. So I think big thing for Supernova, just making sure that they be wiser to it as Mirror. He's laying a nice trap here for Music. Music
as well.
That's good for Music, though.
Yeah, nice little scatter of the week there. We'll force Mir away.
That's a really smart sweeper, honestly, from Music. So he doesn't fully commit to face checking. He might have been able to, or might have had to drop his flash if he did get all the way up there. As Mir gonna end up winning out on the Smite War. It's a little something away from Music, but still Music able to play good enough defense where doesn't drop anything too significant and able to take that dragon and still be on the map. So really good stuff here from Supernova still.
And they're, at least for TL, putting a lot of pressure around mid lane. In this matchup, APA versus Robbie Bob, we were talking about how much, you know, the influence of collegiate mids has been into both these two teams. Robbie Bob, the recent CLOL champion, APA, just last split promoted from Maryville to TL. And I think we've seen APA and Robbie Bob in a bit different trajectory so far this split. APA has been flexing his picks. He's been able to find a lot of success while molding the meta to his own. And it feels like Robbie Bob is still trying to go with some of those comfort picks that he typically has for himself, but also prescribing to a lot more meta styles.
APA straight up has just been the best landing mid that we've had in Challengers in this early season, and it really has not been close. As it feels like whatever pick he's played, he's been able to overperform in the laning phase, especially on that Twisted Fate, where I really think that's been a pick that I want to see more teams picking up and playing, given the strength that APA has been able to show with it. But it's going to be his Cassio this time around, and Robbie Bob at least able to stay even. That is expected. Again, I do favor Syndra in this matchup, as keeping Cassio at bay is always key to defeating her, because that machine gun damage, if you are in range to play against it, is always lethal myself.
Yeah, it truly is. You definitely don't want to be in a sustained fight against this Cassiopeia. You actually saw Music moving over to get some vision over towards this Rift Herald. They are in prime position with this push in mid as well to potentially start that one up. But the thing is, Bradley has actually been able to pressure Quacker pretty heavily in the top side, so it's going to make it a bit dicey. You got move up no from Supernova,
Yeah.
and this is what we were talking about earlier, kind of that decision-making power that Supernova had from taking the early dragon.
And the unique play that you can always make if you are in Aphelios is that you can just have red-white when Rift Herald spawns to try and take plays yourself. As, Bradley's going to get yoinked over.
All out here, but Mir is right around the corner. Quacker flashes immediately. Did not want to get cycloned.
Bradley will have health bar advantage now, as the Qs from Renekton can sustain him back up, and as long as that bot lane doesn't rotate from Supernova, I do favor the setup that TL has right now, given the Cyclone from Wukong and how strong he is at Rift Heralds.
You see them actually starting this one up here. Not something Supernova are looking to contest. They're actually sneaking back around the other side of the pit. TL were just in waiting, like, hey, if you want to contest this, we'll fight you for it. But it is that Rift Herald going over TL. So far, we've had the split of neutral objectives coming up.
And notice how Kim actually walked up too. So it will enable Supernova to actually get a second plate onto the Zeri, which is not bad. But TL, we'll see how much they can get off this Rift Herald play wherever it goes down. And I would love to see them attack bottom lane with this Wukong. Maybe even send in a Renekton too, as those empowered TPs do come on earlier in the new patch, Mazel, or I should say this new split. I think getting Zeri off the map and funneling Arrow, it was a winning strategy in game 1. I don't see a reason for that changing in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't fix what's not broken. But I do wonder if we get a bit of adaptation here from them, because, again, the Renekton pick is super influential in just the way that you're going to play the matchup. It's not necessarily something that you're going to say, like, oh my god, he's going to be able to just murder our entire team, right? You do want to have a little bit of laning prowess with it and have some strength in laning phase. So we see a bit of opposite potential focuses, but the big focus right now for Supernova, I feel like, is going to be getting Music on this next dragon in about 20 seconds. But he is pathing towards topside.
Good trading from TLC in this bot lane. They actually stopped the base of Sketch. So that could be enough, Mazel, honestly, to make sure that TLC has the advantage for the second dragon. And I do want to credit Supernova. I think that first dragon take was great, but I did say it's just going to buy them 5 minutes at a different point of the game. I think that's still going to be very important for Supernova, as this is a team that needs to scale. Needs to get that Kha'Zix to level 11. Syndra scales really nicely, too, in the mid lane. So the fact that they're up a dragon, only down a handful of gold, I mean, we'll see what happens with this Rift Herald, but overall, it's a good start here for Supernova.
TL definitely point and present here in the Dragon Pit. They will just start that one up with the movement from bot lane and the resets that came out from Supernova. We actually have the connection of Trevor and Music right now getting back on the map, and see if they can be proactive themselves.
Trevor putting some time into music, of course, that best friend passive. Still going to be in the hands of Zeri, but definitely an option to be on Kha'Zix in the mid game.
All out. There we go.
All right, it's over the wall.
Not
No tower
into the
shot.
tower range. This is just going to be consistently from these two. The dominance has been popped. A little bit at the back end of the fight, though. Quacker is winning this one. Quacker! He's going to get it. No, the flash from Bradley. A little bit dicey there as the slice and dice was not available.
That's some outstanding spacing coming out from Quacker in that little skirmish missile, as he was able to sidestep a lot of the dominance. Like, what you want to have happen in that matchup is that you just don't want to have that empowered stun connect from that Renekton, because that's where, you know, you take the full combo and he's able to slide on out of there. And never connected with how he was able to space that out and play it. Now he gets the TP back, actually stops the base of Bradley. Could be a little bit hairy here.
He does get a nice chunk of healing, though. Throws up the angry emote. Stop it! I just want to go back, okay? Music is hovering over this way, though, as it still is a situation where I prefer the Wukong in a setup where there's no kills for either jungler, and getting this Kha'Zix to a point of power needs to be of importance for Supernova.
Music did go for the Umbral Glaive first, so a little bit more priority on making sure that vision is denied from TLC. As Mir, speaking of vision being denied, does sneak into this bot side. Not spotted on this Wukong, and does have that Rift Herald, so plates going over to the Aphelios. We do expect this. We'll see if Supernova does as well.
Yeah, and I think that with the state of things, with the first items coming online, especially that Gale Force for Arrow, see if he can capitalize on the item spike down here, but immediately get that final chapter out from Trevor. The Rift Herald spawn and should be able to clean these two plates up. All to me.
All right, well, one more wave to see if they can actually knock down anything else, as that is good defense coming out of Sketch and Trevor. Both ults used. Mir does hold on to his own, so looking to see if Mir goes anywhere else.
And that is that next kind of look and conversation for them.
Oh,
but
well done.
Yeah, actually, nice combos from Quacker. I know you voted for his play of the week, okay, on the Cassante. It looked real good. But his Cassante has been something to fear so far in the league.
I just thought, like, it's very clear that Quacker understands this matchup, like how he's able to use the Iceborne Gauntlet now to even space the Renekton Q. It's really good from Quacker, as he's pushing Bradley around in the back half of this matchup where things do get better for the Cassante with time, and especially once you get this Iceborne Gauntlet and start working into that Bomby Cinders. So we'll see if Quacker can really weather the storm in the top side and get to the point where Cassante wins that matchup, because that's the key for Supernova. We're getting close to the point where we talked about Supernova, well, maybe starting to look for some fights, but we're not there yet. That's no ult for Sketch.
Sketch did not expect that to come through. The exhaust going to be utilized, but he still should go down. The chakrams are hidden, but he gets out. Yumi, the passenger princess, Trevor gets it done.
Oh, I saw one auto go down to a creep 2 from Arrow. He's going to want that one back, but I don't know if it would have killed. At least does force Sketch out, and it might be first brick now going over to the side of TL.
APA utilizing that immediate aggression from Arrow and him down to push down this bottom side and just take all of Music's jungle, which is oppressing in its own right.
Any mistakes you make against TL, they're going to try and get the most out of it. As a good example there, making that play bot just from Trevor and Sketch being split for that one moment. You lose first brick, you lose all your jungle camps, and TL gets to put an extra 750 gold on the board. You can see them using that to turn things around back in their favor as they now have the gold lead. Important for them as TL need to have enough strength to walk up and close the gap against Supernova, as right now Robbie Bob might get slowed.
Are a bit of a sticky predicament here as engage and the Cyclone just means Robbie Bob doesn't have a health bar. And it's the 2-for-1 combo quickly picked up and bot delivered straight to Team Liquid. Rift Herald as well. My goodness, that's the Sunday on top of everything.
And I love how Mir, he didn't use that ult of the original play bot, but they still were able to find something. What happens from there? Arrow gets back to lane. Sketch and Trevor are split. He forces Sketch out. Then Mir What happens after that? Well, we just made a play on bot. What if I beat Supernova to the top side? Can we get anything done? Mir, sure enough, walks up, auto Q on Robbie Bob, able to flash follow after it's a nice scatter from Robbie Bob, but not enough to keep Wukong out of the back line. Trevor gets knocked up too. He can't hop on to music. He was already too far away. He goes down, and TLC, I mean, it's not like Supernova are making game-throwing plays or terrible decisions. It's just they're getting beat here and there to small spots where TLC turn these into punishes that are too much for Supernova to deal with, and now they're on the back foot trying to sneak away this dragon, but TLC, they want to contest.
Oh, they actually get the pick out. They get APA. He flashes Petrifying Gaze right back, and it's TL who are ready for the boxing match. You got a TP for Bradley coming in, but Quacker all by himself has to flash, and that means the TL should be in present form to take this dragon. And I will just say, to your points earlier, oh no, Sketch, getting a little bit low. To your points earlier, TL have just been good at decision making. Their strategies have been so good. Their timings have been so damn good.
All the lessons that we felt like really was the big difference in Spring, Mazel, from when they went from that 9th seed regular season spot moving into playoffs to that top 3 finish that we had in Challengers for TLC. The big difference for them was really the evolution of Kim down, but also just how well they were hitting their timers as a team. As we see Bradley get a bonus flash at the end there just by showing his face on the Croc out of the river. Not a position that anyone wants to be in, as Croc coming out of you from there, you know.
Definitely not.
Speed in real life.
I've never had to wrestle a Croc in real life. Maybe one day I will, as I'm a big Steve Irwin fan. One day I want to. I have literally followed Steve Irwin since I was a small little child, and one of my life goals was to wrestle a crocodile or an alligator of some sort. I think it'd be really fun. I might die, but you know what?
That animal's from the prehistoric era. Get me out. I'm not interested at all.
Well, I don't think Supernova are very interested in it either, but maybe they are. That's not wrestling. That's just, taking it out back at that point. But Bradley makes it alive.
2K gold lead for TLC, where again, it still feels like Supernova they could scale. They have some time. I think that Cinder evolutions are big. Zeri needs to get that 3-item point. Kha'Zix is 1 level away from getting that Evolve W, which can really help slow down TLC on some of these pursuits. But the couple plays that TLC have found before those things that come in for Supernova have been big and have given them a lot of control over the map. You can see Mir and Kim down working together to exert some vision control over Music, will now be spotted as Music. He's going to evolve his W here. All right,
There we go. He's got the extra rockets. He got the red buff too. Nice. And Sketch gets to the one as well, sharing the buffs. Look at that.
No smite from Mir, so feel good there for Music.
What do you think about this this new kind of power spike setup for the Aphelios on 2 items with the Kraken Slayer? I feel like it's always been the conversation where we're talking about 3-item spikes for a lot of our hyper carries.
Yeah.
But it feels like this new build iteration for Aphelios really turns him on it too.
I like the changes. Like, I like the fact that marksmen are online sooner. I also really like LDR 3rd uniquely on Aphelios, given that you get some lethality from the build, but also stacking it up with the percent health. I guess it is percent health, but also the armor shred. Really sound. Arrow made good use of it last game, and looks like he will be. We'll see if he cruises towards it in this one. I think that will be the case, but I don't know. I like when things are online earlier. I think it's really playing into games. To me, I feel like they're ending a lot earlier this split.
It depends. I guess the approach matters a lot, especially when you're looking at forward aggression from jungle and the way that we've gotten a lot of assassin junglers into the meta itself. I will also just say here in this game specifically, Sketch has a decent advantage over Arrow on the Zeri, and that's never a position you want to be in. A lot of times you look to put down the Zeri earlier. I know we were saying that earlier, but you're on the Runan spike. You definitely want that 3 items, but you're on the trajectory to actually have a force in this game. And you see that gold graph. It's Arrow and Sketch neck and neck.
Sketch does have that 2nd item, so now the next one, of course, he does get tankier on the Zeri, a little bit tougher to deal with. I do think that between Mir and APA, Cassio has so much damage. It's just that TL, when they do find CC onto the Zeri, they need to have good follow-up from Arrow and APA to make sure that Zeri falls, which gets trickier once that Titanic Hydra comes in.
Yeah, you don't have that point-and-click CC that you would want to have against the Zeri-Yumi combo, or honestly, even music on the Kazakhs, because they are all very slippery, besides Robbie Bob on this team. We'll see a siege come down in the mid lane from TL, though. Want to try to take this outer tower here, the last one remaining for Supernova. They are walking around the edges, and Moonlight Vigil will get a couple more shots onto the defense of Supernova, but they can't make it break.
I like the gun setup coming out of Arrow here, just having the green-white, really good setup for sieging, as he knows that he can outrange the Zeri and is doing his best to play around his guns to try and control what we have mid, as we are 45 seconds away from this fourth dragon, I should say, spawning Mazel. These dragons have been taken very quick by our teams, good to see. And we'll see if TL can set this one up, because at the moment, they're actually shifting more towards that Baron, as who knows, maybe they look for a little bit of a sneak.
Hey, I mean, I guess they could. They have TP from the side lane, and that is the startup here. You got Bradley wanting to get into a position to be able to TP. He's just waiting down there on the bottom side now. You got movement coming from Quacker, but TL pull away from the Baron. They say, not this time.
They got a wave in the mid. Not the worst thing in the world, as TL will back off, reset, and we'll see if they even sniff around this upcoming dragon. Chemtech Soul, it doesn't really do too much. Doesn't feel that powerful. It feels like it affects the Rift more than it affects the stats that our champions hold. So I think that if TL wants to drop this and try and go for another Baron bout, that's okay.
Tower
Sketch, yeah, playing things up.
Bradley's gonna block it. Bradley taking a lot of damage, but at least saving the tower here, and maybe being able to get out with his life. A move down to this dragon from Supernova.
I think he got Cleaver off that too, so that's not all bad for Bradley actually to tank that up. As see if that ends up being included in his inventory. If not, A-OK is Arrow. Yeah, he's bounced back. And he is ready to make sure that this dragon goes over to them. Is at the moment, oh boy, this is hairy.
Oh, dragon does go down over to Supernova. They just got to get out of here. Robbie Bob. Oh, Bradley over the wall. That's huge. The lightning crash comes down. He is in the thick of it right now. As it's APA that comes in, tries to get the petrifying gaze. Does he have the poison? Robbie Bob goes golden. APA sinking his teeth into his fellow collegiate mid. And that Robbie Bob goes down. It is a 2-for-1 in favor of TL, but Sketch is still firing.
Gets that crump over the wall for himself, and okay, that's still purple on Arrow. That could have been scary for Sketch if they actually turn around with Mirror, but Supernova honestly getting out 1 for 2 after that dragon take. That looked like it could have been a whole lot worse for Supernova, but Bradley was just a little bit too far up for his team. Music importantly gets out. It looks like TLC will still pressure this Baron, but him down is at least low, and Music could be here to steal.
Could try to get an angle here. That's going to be very difficult. They'll be on the backside. A little bit tanking coming down. You got a TP coming from Quacker to the mid lane. Half health now on the Baron. Sketch around the corner. He does not have lightning crash. The AoE damage from Supernova is not there right now, but it still means that TL back away. They don't want a 50-50 situation like this.
Bradley is here, not spotted. But no continuation from TLC as Bradley. We'll see if he's able to body block this turret once again against the Zeri. As I mean, props to Supernova. It's still a 2k gold lead, but their scaling's really good with the Zeri-Yumi. They have been able to slow down this game enough, Mazel, where it feels like Supernova. I mean, that once that death cap comes in for Syndra, you get the Titanic Hydra coming in for Sketch. Things get a lot harder for TLC at those item points.
I actually really like, even though it's maybe not the most sturdy bridge, maybe not even a shaking bridge for Music, they did get a bit of reprieve early on to lead them to this late game scaling composition. And I think that's super huge for TL to think about moving forward here. They need to put the pedal to the metal.
I want to see them push hard. They have the double black cleaver finished. I think this is TL's time to really
Sketch.
Really try and see what he can find. Is Bradley Quacker, he's in trouble.
Oh, Arrow's by himself. Oh my god, Music. That's it. That's it. Oh, he doesn't go down. Mir goes on a killing spree on the other side, though. Quacker caught out. And that means 2 members are just out of the fight here.
They have a Casio. They should start this immediately. They can machine gun it down as they're looking for Music.
Music. Oh, I think he might have made it. It was like 1 second, like millisecond away from finishing. Well, a little bit baited, and now the Baron in eyes of Team Liquid.
Well, you know, we said that we wanted to see TLC push the pace now. They sure as hell did, as they take down Music. They take down Quacker on the top side, and that's Free Baron going over to them.
How far did Mir's foot just go through the gas pedal in the game? Feels really good for Team Liquid as Sketch just trying to get a little bit of something back here in mid lane. They're actually going to pounce on him in a 3v1. APA with a big petrifying gaze. They're actually dodged out from as well, and that just means that Trevor gets the kill on APA. Oh no, Sketch is overextended here. Mir, he goes with 2 kills here with a kill going to Kim down. My goodness, this man is on fire. Our MVP from Spring Split.
Oh my god, the spin to win from Mir as Supernova. He's making them look like the nickname in scrims, Super Noobs in the back half. Make sure that there's no bonus.
All right, here's your 2v1, Bradley. I don't think you can do it. I don't know if you're... I mean, he does! Holy cow, this champion, man! Against the Cassante matchup, bring the 2v1s, everything you want! Bradley stands tall!
Him down, chipping in the back half. Wrecked, and he's been getting some sneaky buffs here, Mazel, as Bradley's making sure that that is known. Supernova, they fall across the rift as now 2 inhibitors likely to fall on the siege. See if TL is able to stick around for the second one.
I just love that we set this one up. 2v1s over Nected, and we actually got one. Now we got Arrow pushing on to Supernova here. That second inhib finally goes down.
Hold on, Robbie.
And Supernova, they are reeling from that shot.
Robbie Bob did complete the death cap, did a lot of damage, but the damage has been done by TLC. 2 inhibitors fall, Mazel, as it started off with a good kill on the APA, but that was all bait for Mir, man.
Literally all the bait. It's all it ever is.
Mir is just feasting early. TLC, I mean, really the dominance is going to continue for them. Their strength of schedule coming up here. I really would not be surprised if TLC entered the second round robin with, let's say, 2 losses. We'll say they drop a random game here coming up, but and they've got 4 more matches to go. Hold on, Bradley. That's necessary TP. Oh, that TP was stopped. Oh, hold on. Okay, Quacker going to be diving on in. Mir actually goes golden. Another TP coming in. This is a good setup here for Supernova as Mir, he's going to spin to win, but he's going to have to get down out of there as the Wild Growth is going to be enough. No, Sketch flashes in the shutdown AK. 2-man petrifying gaze as Sketch. He's stuck. He can't walk on up. Robbie Bob burns to the poison, and Supernova now in a 4v3 are going to stick around for this dragon. It would be soul point for them. As Quacker trying to sneak on up here. Oh, getting slowed down. The Rylai's doing so much work from APA as Arrow playing off that wonderfully. He can use the Inferno Gun through the Dragon as well. Music barely gets on out of Sketch, trying to skate all over APA, but the Polymorph is huge. APA sneaks into the brush, isn't enough. Oh, barely finds him with the exhaust coming out from Arrow as now Trevor, the passenger princess, he's got nowhere else to ride. Bradley TP's into the base. Music trades out the Lulu, but the white flags are coming out from TLC. Ladies and gentlemen, TLC gonna find this game 1 win with a second ace in the back half as they continue their domination, move to 9-1 early in the split, and TLC still look like the team to beat.
I don't know if you got me back now. I don't think you do.
Oh, we got him. No, we got him.
Oh, we got him back.
Time.
Literally, I don't know what happens. Every time a game is going to end, like 30 seconds before, I just lose my mic for some reason. I don't understand it. But a heckin' game, and what a way to finish it from Cubby's play-by-play. I love it.
I'm doing my best here. You know, I'm trying not to be the big noob in the casting booth, as it's fun to, you know, have that opportunity to shine every once in a while as the color caster. One of the challenges of the remote.
Hey, you used to be a play-by-play, all right? That's all I'm saying. But I love this foray into adventure that we got from Team Liquid here. Now, we will be sitting to a little break, and after that break, we'll have an interview from Sierra, so don't miss it.
Everyone, Cubby here, going to be sitting down with the victorious support of Team Liquid Honda Challengers and Kim down. And Kim, we were talking a little bit before. It was a nice 2-0 today, but you guys moved to 9-1 on the season, and it really feels like it's a full team effort from all 5 of you who, even you said, are playing really well. What's it been like so far this early season playing with this group again?
So, definitely before the season starts, I think we were trying to get back to our spring playoff like momentum. We're trying our best to go back to that, and during scrims, I think it went pretty well. Sometimes it was shaky, but we're trying our best to be consistent.
Yeah, and I think that's like a big story we talked about when it came to you guys going from that 9th seed in the regular season to that top 3 finish in spring. Like, where do you feel like you've picked up like where you left off? Because obviously it really seems to us that some of the learnings that you implemented for the spring playoffs have really stuck with you guys. What's that process been like behind the scenes so far?
I will say we are getting there, but definitely it's not consistent every time. But yeah, we're working pretty hard for it.
Yeah,
I think eventually we'll get there. Yeah.
I mean, it sure seems like you guys are the team to beat in the league right now. Some of the consistency, though, sometimes the early games, don't always go your way. I will credit Supernova a little bit. They at least kept it close for a couple periods of time in those 2 games, but it really felt like once you guys got control, I mean, the games ended pretty quickly on your guys' end. Are there any teams, like, as you guys move forward that you're kind of looking out for? Teams that you feel like can really challenge you guys in the league? Because, again, it really does feel like you guys are the team to beat, sitting at 9-1 at the top of our standings so far.
Honestly, I think DSG and FlyQuest are still our competitor. I think they're still pretty good. So we're trying our best to compete against them and get ready for them next matches.
It's fun, the fact that we have the double round robin this time around. I'm looking forward to those rematches as well. See if you guys can find the 2-0. Now, yesterday we had Sierra sit down with Arrow, and I don't know if you caught this, but Arrow was actually talking about his spicy ramen. So I did want to ask you, as someone that lanes with Arrow, have you had the privilege of the spicy ramen that Arrow likes to cook up? Have you had to get to try some so far?
So we do go out to eat sometimes, but I can never get to his spicy level. It's too much for me. I cannot handle it.
It's too extreme from Arrow?
No.
Well,
I don't know how he does that.
I guess that's the experience coming in, living in, the years he's been able to play living in Korea, and also fun to hear that he was cooking some on his own as well. In terms of what you guys like to do, getting back together this split, are there any fun team things you guys have been able to do outside the game so far? You've been able to do as a group, or whether that's with a group or maybe yourself as an individual?
We are playing Screamswell as together.
Okay, we like that.
Yeah,
it's always nice. Anything outside the game?
Outside the games, we go eat something special every time we win the match. I think. Sorry.
No, that's good. Anything aligned? Are you saving that special meal? Is that going to be tonight or tomorrow? You know yet?
I don't know yet.
Probably
they might be talking about it right now, but yeah, not sure for me.
Well, if you want to bring this back, Canes is doing a 2-for-1 combo special on Father's Day today. You guys might be able to get, some nice cheap food. If you know what Canes is, that's a favorite. We might be doing that later. But hey, Kim, before I let you go, enjoy that special meal and prep for your match that you have tomorrow. Just want to give you the floor. Any thank yous or shout outs you'd like to give before I let you go?
Shout out to my teammates, my coach, and shout out to my sponsors, Honda, Alienware, Verizon, and Monster. Thank you so much. And thank you for the viewers who are watching our matches today. Thank you so much. And thank you for you guys.
Appreciate it, Kim. Always good to have you on the broadcast and see you playing really well. Again, 9-1 start to your guys' season. You guys are playing great. Best of luck as you guys try and continue that tomorrow against Team Fish Taco. But until then, we're going to have to get to our second match of the day. One of the teams that you highlighted as one of your top competitors, Disguise, will be going up against AOE Esports, coming right on up after this.